So why does freedom-hating American empire absolutely despise freedom-loving social democracy and democratic socialism, you ask? Great question. The American empire despises democratic socialism not because it misunderstands it, but because it understands it all too well. For democratic socialism, in its essence, is the insistence that the fruits of collective labor be shared more equitably, that the machinery of wealth serve human beings rather than enslave them. This is heresy to empire, whose lifeblood is the concentration of power in the hands of a few and the perpetual commodification of everything. Empire thrives on hierarchy, on the myth that some must toil endlessly so that others may accumulate without limit. Democratic socialism punctures this myth by saying healthcare is not a privilege, education is not a commodity, housing is not a speculative token, but all of these things are what they actually really are, which is human rights. In other words, it asks the system to bend towards compassion. An empire, which feeds on extraction, recoils like a vampire before the dawn. But beyond economics, there is a deeper reason. The American empire's cultural engine is the religion of individualism. It insists that you are alone, that your successes and failures belong to you alone, that solidarity is weakness. Democratic socialism, by contrast, whispers the forbidden truth. You are not alone. You are woven into a fabric of mutual dependence, and when that fabric is honored, all flourish more deeply. This revelation threatens not just windfall profits, but the very methodology of empire. So, the hatred is strategic. Empire equates socialism with tyranny, with gulags, with the death of freedom, because it cannot allow the possibility that people see through its smokescreen, that they might notice that Scandinavian democracies, for example, are freer, healthier, more educated, and less violent, precisely because they temper capitalism with social care. To acknowledge this would be to admit that empire is not the pinnacle of civilization, but a devouring machine. Thus, the propaganda of those who wholeheartedly have been brainwashed to paint any socialism as un-American, as theft, as laziness institutionalized. Meanwhile, the empire itself loves to privatize gains and socialize losses, quietly subsidizing the wealthiest corporations, bailing out the banks, and calling it the free market. What is rejected is not socialism per se, but the redistribution of care downward rather than upward. The American empire hates democratic socialism because it is a mirror held up to its face. The reminder that another way of organizing human life is not only possible, but has worked in America in the past and has already been flourishing elsewhere. An empire, like all narcissists, cannot bear the sight of its own alternatives.